Hi, I'm Cindy.
I'm Mallory.
I'm Emily.
And we're here with another feeding frenzy for a course in weight loss. We are on lesson number 9 still. And you'll notice that Elizabeth is missing today. Unfortunately, she's not feeling too good. So we're going to try this without her today. You gotta quit shaking. We're going to try this without her today. We're just going to continue our discussion with Mallory from yesterday, but we wanted to come in and say hi and let you know that we're still on lesson number 9. We're still working on telling our stories, and you girls got anything to say? Have y'all been working on the book at all? No, but you weighed in today.
I did.
And how'd that go?
I lost a pound from the last time I weighed.
Yay!
I lost, according to Jeff, I got half an inch off of my waist.
Great.
And my hips have stayed the same.
Good. And so they don't know you yet. So you're Elizabeth's daughter, right? And again, she's sick, so she can't be here with us. But hopefully, she'll be back with us tomorrow. So we're going to listen more of Mallory, and may throw in some of David in there when we talk to him. And we will see you again afterwards.
I lost more and more weight, and I just kept losing weight, and everyone started commenting on it and being like skinny mini and all that stuff. And no one had ever really done that, so I was like, oh. And so then, well, you know, when I moved here, it was healthy food, and that was different from anywhere that I've ever lived before, because even when I lived with just her, I still ate all this crap food. And then when I moved here, Emily was eating healthy. And I was like, oh, well then I can do that too. So, you know, having someone my age doing everything with me makes it 10 times easier. I can definitely tell you that. So, you know, if you're a teenager, get someone your age to do it with you, because it's much easier. And I remember when we went to the workout place, and the first day we weighed, he looked at our sizes and stuff, and he said, you can't compare yourself because you are two completely different genetics. And I think a big part of me was always comparing myself to my friends, and I was never the kind of girl who would look at a magazine and say, I want to be that thin, because I didn't really care. But, you know, my friends, I remember my best friend a couple years ago when I was trying to get thin, was a toothpick, and I felt like, I remember when she told me about her, I thought she said she was my size, and so I was like, oh, I'll finally have a friend who's my size and not thin. And we walked in, and I was like, oh man, I was upset.
She was your age, not your size.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd heard her say she was my size, so I was expecting, you know, and then when she was a toothpick, I was like, darn it. And so I've always been the one to say, well, I'm big.
You weren't that chubby. You were just tall for your age.
I was really tall, and I've always had big feet. Like, my dad makes skiing jokes every time I go there. Like, it's just, like, I have big feet, and I'm very tall, and I'm, you know, and I've always thought of myself as a big, because if you're tall, you know, I was always the one that was, like, taller than all my friends, and older than all my friends. So I associated being older and taller as being bigger. And I remember weighing when I was 12, I weighed more than my brother, and he's older than me, and I thought that was the worst thing ever.
And he's this big around.
He's really thin, and I was always jealous of that. But, you know, when I was 12, I weighed myself, and I weighed about 20 pounds more than him when I was 12, and he was 15, and that made me feel horrible. Like, that was a big part of where self-esteem became a thing. Before then, I didn't care, but after that, it just became a thing of, I need to weigh less. And I remember that when I started losing all the weight, I was like, whoa, that's weird. I'm not even doing anything. And for a couple months after I moved here, I was like, well, I can eat whatever I want because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to gain any weight because I'd eat, but I'd still lose weight. And so for a while, I was eating all this crap food. But then after this, I've realized, you know, because I was 157 when I went in the first time ever to the gym. But when the 10-day thing started, I was 160, and I was like, oh man.
Well, then some of that's muscle.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that in the moment, so I was really upset when I first weighed that, when the 10-day thing started, and so I got really upset. And then when I weighed this time, I felt really good, because the other day I weighed, and I was 1 pound more than I am now. And so today I was like, well, I'm going to weigh what I did the other day, and when I weighed less, I was like, but this is the lowest I've weighed since I was 12. Because
she got over her nervousness. What do you think?
I'm like, David, you set me off.
I know. She just goes. I love it.
So
no, but I love looking at it.
through your eyes, because then that helps me, help Emily. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody else is watching, that's going to help them help their kids.
Right.
I think definitely having someone there with you helps a lot, because even when I was doing it with her, she was with me, but she could never relate to how I felt because, she wasn't 15. And even if, you can remember being 15, you were never 15 in this day of age. So, I can't say I remember being 10, because I remember being 10 back when I was 10, 5 years ago. I can't remember, I don't know what being 10 is like now, because it's so much different. So, you can say, I remember being 15, self-esteem was a huge deal back then. Well, it might be completely different now. So having someone going through it with you in the current day of age is a big, big deal.
That's a big bonus.
Yeah. And me and Emily have had so many bonuses of being this close, because everything we do, even if we don't really want another person there, there's another person there. So no matter what's happening, you always have someone who knows how you feel. And we're different people, so we feel different on a lot of things, but having someone there is definitely a big help, because they'll be like, come on, pick yourself up, get over it. One of our favorite phrases is build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
one.
So,
now, when you feel bad, you're going to feel worse if you let yourself. You just got to pick yourself up, and, if you go into it with a closed mind of, this isn't going to do anything, I still have to, if you're younger than I am, or if you're just young at all, if you go into it with, well, there's no workout for kids, make one yourself, do what you feel comfortable with, because when I was little, I couldn't have done what she did, because she was lifting heavy weights, and I couldn't have done that. But also at the same time, I was like, well, if there's no plan already made up for me, then I'm not going to try. So if I had tried when I was younger, I think I could have lost a lot more weight then. But I'm glad that I did wait, because going through everything I did, losing weight also added on to confidence. And I think, everyone kept telling me, I'm so proud of you and stuff, and having that confidence and then having the weight loss confidence just made me to who I am today.
Three things to the human body to get in shape. It's called the FIT principle, which makes a lot of sense because they're talking about fitness, but the FIT principle is very easy. It's frequency, intensity, and time. So the frequency is the amount of times you do the exercise per week. The intensity is how hard or how intense you do it, like whether it be more weight or less time or more explosive. And then the time is the duration of the exercise that you do, whether you do it for a few minutes, which is more of an explosive type activity, or a longer duration, which is more of a endurance type activity. So the FIT principle is frequency, intensity, and time. And it's really important when you talk about the mode and structure of your exercises, which is what we were doing here. You all don't have to think about that, don't have to worry about that, as I do it for you. So we're jumping into our intensity, and we're changing it from a strength training intensity to more of a cardio component, which that's why we've been outside more and doing some more laps around the track here.
Yeah. Well, when we first started this, we also decided too that we were going to spend more. We're going to spend the money either way. You're going to spend money on health care either way. Yes. And we decided to spend it on well care than sick care. And so we also didn't have any idea what we needed to do with, where we're at now in order to achieve the goals that we wanted to achieve. So this is why we came here to Get Tone Fitness with David Knuckles here. And if you're in town, I highly suggest that you give David a call. We'll put a link on our site to his website that way you can get a contact.
Yeah, appreciate
contact
that.
David. But it also became important to find somebody who had more knowledge than I had, and I couldn't find it in a magazine that spoke to me personally. So we came here and we just talked about our goals, we see where we're at, and then we decide where we want to go. And then we just turn it over to somebody who knows more than we do. So then it made our workouts more effective.
And more fun.
And more
I got
fun.
bored at the gym because I do the same thing every day, and I still didn't know what I was doing.
So when we come in, it's different things every time we come. And I like the fact that we're only doing this for 30 to 50 minutes, and we're not here all day. So I can fit it into my day and not get bored with it.
Exactly right. One of the things I like to tell people is I can't do it for you, of course, but I can show you and teach you how to do things, but more importantly, you have to help yourself. And I believe the best help is self-help, and I want to help you help yourself.
That's exactly
even better. And it's just a matter of putting in the time and putting in the effort, and like I said, it all comes from within you how to want to do. So I can't do it for you, but if you'll show up and you'll take the time to come to the studio, then we can get a lot of work done. And just 15, 20, 30 minutes at a time is good. Anything over 50 to 60 minutes, I believe, is too much. there's more to life than thinking about spending hours and hours at the gym. So you can get out.
One of
and
the
live.
reasons why we look here.
Yeah. You need to get out and live a little too.
So let me ask a question for people that aren't here in Bowling Green. You know, what should they look for? How do they find somebody like you?
And that's the question that I knew about when we talked about it in school. We talked about the best thing for people because of our baby boomer generation and the amount of people that we have population-wise getting older, that the best care is going to be a more of a personal approach, and it's be able to help people on a more personal level, which I believe. So I have been educated through our government, through our education system here, with a bachelor's and a master's degree, and I've also been certified by the American College of Sports Medicine. So I feel like I have the training already, and now since 2001, since I've been actually working in the field, you know, I've built up some, you know, knowledge and some ability to be able to help people. Now, not to talk too bad, but with the internet, anybody who's interested can pay somebody for a certification online and be certified to show people how to do jumping jacks, or be certified how to show people how to cook chicken and eat, you know, protein and things like that. So with the more availability of the knowledge, which is good, but also to look for things you want to see about is, in my opinion, is the credentials or the credibility of the person you're working with. It's one thing for a football player who used to play in the NFL to come to a gym and show you how to bench press or do push-ups, but it's also a way to be able to connect and to help that people, in my opinion, to be able to help them help themselves and be able to teach them. You go back to where you know, you give a person fish, you know, they can feed themselves and their family, but if you teach them how to fish, right, they can you know, eat for a lifetime thing, and I really believe that. And with that openness that we have, I have a lot of people that come and go to the studio here, which I understand, because if I can help them or teach them, they don't have to come here all the time. They can do it wherever, and that's basically what it boils down to. It's something that you have to do for yourself, and I do believe that.
Well, one of the things I love about you is that you know the nutrition part of it and the fitness part of it, and you help me tie it together instead of just saying, "Oh, don't worry about the nutrition, just do the exercises."
Yeah,
you know?
I am more trained in the physiology of it, because I've been trained in exercise science, but I'm not a dietitian.
Right.
A registered dietitian goes to school and has a degree just in dietetics.
Right.
We did a lot of sports nutrition classes, and we did a lot of nutrition, just basic human nutrition, which is very basic and everybody needs to use. But to take it one step further, dietitians really delve into the micronutrients of it and such. And they can help you some and really tie it into you. But also, I believe if you're going to eat the calories, and we have to move, or we are going to move, so therefore the nutrition part, in my opinion, isn't that hard, isn't that extensive always, usually. It just depends on the individual. And where you guys have been coming from, the angle you've been taking, which I think is like a really great approach, is the more the emotional or the more the psychological side of it, which I have zero psychology training whatsoever, and after about 6 to 8 months of working, I realized that's why they have psychology majors. I learned about psychology, and I was more of a physical major. I learned about humans and movement, and then, you know, we have just all the different things here. People learn about plumbing and law, you know, and things like that. It's like, well, that's why they have it, because you can't learn everything.
Right.
And so you need other people to help, right? And you get little groups of like-minded individuals thinking together and making things happen. Another reason why I like the group training setting is because it's better to do it with people and have more fun with each other than it is to try to do it on
Well,
your
then
own.
it becomes more of a family atmosphere. And what I love, too, is you not only teach us about the movement, but you also teach us how to live through this. You know, because it's not just about getting to a goal weight and then it's over.
Right, sure.
You got to learn, and this is what I've always wanted to learn, was not how to get through a diet, but how to live this life.
Got it.
And how to do it the right way, to look the way that.
Well, how to make it a lifestyle change.
Yeah,
Lifestyle change.
lifestyle.
Exactly what I was going to say. Two things we talk about, more importantly, is quality of life. And it's about how whenever you start something, it's not something, like you were saying, with just a specific goal and that's the end of it. In my opinion, we talk about this whole life process. And it's about how it works for you, because when people come to the studio, they say, what can I eat or what should I not eat? It's like, you eat whatever you want. It's like, but if you're the type of person that's going to eat Twinkies and donuts all day long, you're not going to nourish your body. So it's going to be counterproductive to what you want to achieve. But as you learn the different things about eating and different things about working out, you put it all together, it's something that you can sustain your life, or your quality of life, because I don't want you hitting that life curve and then falling down and, like, you know, never being able to get it back up. You want to sustain your life to where we can live happily ever after.
Right. One of the things I liked about it was a big jump for us to go from doing little to nothing to coming in here and changing all the exercise and the diet and changing everything about our life. So if I came in and just did the exercises, then I could worry about the food later. Because I was learning how to treat my body and how to listen to my body.
Right.
So, and the more I listened to you, the more I found out about the food too.
Yep.
So I didn't have to start it all at once.
That's exactly right. And I like that too. That approach that I give people is like, if you just show up to do the workouts, I believe there's 3.
Your hair's in the way. I can't even
sorry.
see it.
I believe there's 3 like kind of breakdowns of the cycle here, and you have your physical, you have your mental, and then like you guys say, and I believe you have your social and your spiritual well-being as well. Those 3 things have to be together, have to be in some kind of unison, because some people are really out of tune physically, some people are really out of tune mentally and socially and spiritually too. So if you can get just into an environment where some of those things are consistent, or you have a stimulus of 1 or 2 of those, then hopefully the other third part will start to come around as well.
That was really good stuff.
Yeah, that was really good stuff.
Stream.
Stream.